You are now entering Film Code.
I seen it. You're fond of me lobster.
Molly, you in danger, girl.
Your ass looks like about 150 pounds of chewed bubble gum, Kyle. You know that? Say it, sir! I don't believe you people.
What do you mean, you people?
What do you mean, you people?
Now answer my question. Were you rushing or were you dragging? Answer!
I loved it. I don't care
What's
what
going
you
on,
guys
everybody?
say.
Welcome to Film Code. My name is Phoenix Clouded, and the guys are back. Joined as always by the great Zach Sneef. Zach, how are you, sir?
Man, I'm doing good, Phoenix. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to talk about the movie, and yeah.
All right, and of course, joined by our current code-breaking leader, who will be dethroned possibly today.
Nope.
Brandon, how are you, sir?
Man, I am good, Phoenix. It is good to be back. I am super excited to be talking about Rian Johnson's next masterpiece. So, yeah, how are you doing, buddy?
That's right. I am great. Totally great. And totally great because I just realized what movie we're talking about. Oh, so I was prepared to talk about a totally different movie. So thanks for reminding
What
me.
did you think we were talking about?
I don't know. I forgot that we had already did the Fablemans, so I thought we were doing Fablemans today. But yeah, it just So yeah, Glass Onion. Yeah. Let's get on that.
That would have been funny had you been like, yeah, like we mentioned, we are talking about the Fablemans.
Oh man. All right. So yes, we're talking Glass Onion, which we caught and limited theater release this week. Fantastic. This is the sequel to Rian Johnson's Knives Out, starring once again Daniel Craig as Benoit Blanc. This also features a brand new cast like Edward Norton, Dave Bautista, Janelle Monae, Kate Hudson, Kathryn Hahn, Madeline Klein, Leslie Odom Jr., and Jessica Henwick. Of course, Rian Johnson returns as director, producer, and I believe writer as well on this.
Yeah, he wrote the last one and he wrote this one again.
Yep. So we all got to see this in theaters. I think that that honestly was the best way to see it. I kind of wish it was in theaters longer, but it'll be on Netflix come later this month.
Mhm.
But let's start off. Brandon, your overall thoughts and impressions on Glass Onion.
Yeah, man. So, as someone who loves the first Knives Out movie, I was super excited to go into this. I was like, okay, cool. Let me go into this, see this without seeing any trailers like I did last time with Knives Out. And man, I was blown away. The writing was just incredible. The acting was fantastic. They made, I mean, as a film that takes place during COVID, like that's not really spoilers real quick, but like there aren't that many films that can do it that well. This one did it well. Like a mid-pandemic movie, and it was freaking hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
So props to Rian Johnson for his masterful writing again. And yeah, I'm not gonna say anything else so I don't dive into spoilers.
Zach, what did you think?
I think that it was a great movie. I thought it was a lot of fun. I'll give some more thoughts. I don't want to give away too much right now, but there are some things that I don't know. I kind of wish were a little different in the movie.
Of course you did.
I mean, yeah. Because that's the point of critiquing a movie, but but yeah, I mean there are some things that I think they just could have been done a little bit better. Yeah, we'll kind of talk about that here in a little bit.
Right. Okay, dope. I had a blast with this film. Like, so much fun. The creativity off the charts. I love this new cast. Like, just great character. I mean, come on. Y'all know how much I love Kathryn Hahn. I think she's fantastic. Janelle Monae comes in and kills it. Edward Norton is having a blast. Kate Hudson, oh my god, like fantastic. I dug this cast. I love the writing. This was just a ton of fun. I had way more fun with this film than I thought I would. So like for me, this was a blast, a total blast.
Yeah. Man, I want to give props before we dive into spoilers, because like I want to be talking about, I might be talking just plot only when I get into spoilers. Props to Steve Yedlin, man, who is Rian Johnson's cinematographer. Man, he is so good.
Yeah, you know what? And props also to Jenny Egan, who did the costumes, because
Yes,
this was definitely stand out from the first one, where like the costumes were like popping on screen. I was like, wow, yeah, it was definitely something I noticed more this time around. All right, any other thoughts before we go into spoilers?
Let's do it.
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
All right, here we go. We are officially talking spoilers for Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery. We understand that this has not reached many audiences yet because it was a limited release. So if you want to wait until this drops on Netflix later in the year and then come back and listen to this episode, we completely understand. But let us know what your thoughts are on Glass Onion. All right, we are officially talking spoilers. Zach, dive in. Where do you want to start?
Oh man, I mean, don't get me wrong. I thought the movie was great. I had a lot of fun with it. I mean, I really my biggest issue is that whenever I see a whodunit kind of movie, right, is I automatically start looking for the twist. And the problem is that typically I get it right because I always suspect the least suspecting answer to who's done it, right? So I enjoy them, but then like it's like, okay, there has to be a twist, because if there's not a twist, then it's boring, right? So that's my biggest problem, is like you end up finding out kind of, or having an idea of who it's going to be in the beginning because you're looking for that twist. At least I do, because that's automatically where my brain goes. And I guess that it was the guy who invited them to this island, like the guy himself who's asking him to solve this case, right? Or not asking him, but that's how it portrays in the movie, right? That when he gets the box, I figured that's what happened. Like, and so I was just kind of disappointed because I was like, I didn't want to be right. Like, I was like, no, I want to be wrong. So, you know, I don't know. I think that's my biggest issue with it. But overall, I think I had a lot of fun still. Some of those shots were just gorgeous too. Like, they were really great. I really liked the puzzle at the beginning of the invitation. I thought that was super cool. I like how I forget her name. I can't think of her name right now. It's been a minute. But the character who plays the sister, I forget what.
Andy?
Andy, yeah.
Yeah.
So I like how her character just gets a box and smashes it open. That was so great.
Yeah. I love like the editing I love the montage of them opening it, because it's just edited so well. And like you said, like I feel like it's perfect symbolism too, is like they're all working together as a team trying to open this box. Meanwhile, she just smashes it open on her own, meaning like it's just representing she's not part of the team. She works her own method.
Yeah, I dug it a lot. And you're right about the twist. I was like, it, like I don't go into mysteries like trying to guess who did it. Like I kind of like the idea of just like going with 100 different guesses, right? Then like the movie gives me who it actually did it. I kind of like going at it that way because I just think it's more fun as a viewer to be wrong, like to purposely be wrong, and to what I'm saying, and then to be surprised at the end. But yeah, two different totally methods. Some people are like, no, I have to find out who did it, and and I'll put it together myself. Me, I'm like, the drunk dude that they had walking around in the background, he did it. Like I was just like, that was the perfect example. So like, for me, when it is revealed who it is, I found that to be a little bit underwhelming, just because I was like, oh, that was so easy. So I was that's a little disappointing. I mean, it makes sense for the story that they're telling, but I was still kind of like, oh.
I mean, I personally love the reveal. I love who it is because of just how they set it up throughout the film. It's just like your brain is analyzing, like, okay, who is the potential person to be the killer? And you know what's cool is like I could already factor out a couple people because Rian Johnson revealed, I think it was in a watch party or something for Knives Out, if a character has an iPhone, they're not the bad guy. They won't like Apple won't allow people with iPhone, like they won't allow the bad guys to have an iPhone. So I was like, okay, so Dave Bautista's already out. But I mean, my brain was still trying to analyze. I'm like, who is it going to be? Because I fully expected Edward Norton's character to die, but I know, like, when Dave Bautista's character died, I saw the drink swap happen because it was such a quick scene. I'm like, wait a second, did that just happen?
Yeah.
And then they go back to it in like a different form. He's like, oh yeah, they just set it down at the same time, grabbed the wrong drink. I'm like, I don't think that's what happened.
Yeah.
And then they went back. I'm like, okay, yeah, I did see what I saw.
Yeah.
But I mean, as far as the reveal goes, I really loved it. That's just me though. I love getting to see Benoit Blanc just absolutely just rack his brain and analyze everything.
I thought his character was so hilarious.
He was fantastic.
Like he was so funny. Like just like when he got the puzzle, he's like, yeah, I received like a 10-year-old's puzzle. And he's like thought this like this mastermind thing. And then especially when I know I'm skipping ahead here, but like when they're discovering, the murder, right? And like the way that he intended it to go. Like he's like, I literally told you what to do, and that's exactly what you did. Dumbass. Yeah. It was so funny.
Yeah, it was like he's like, so what do we win? He's like, win? I'm like, he's like, yeah, if I solve the murder, do I get like an iPad or something? That's what I thought was so funny about
it. And then when he's like, so sorry, go ahead, Brendan.
Sorry. It's like, that's what's just so funny about it is just he's like, deep down he wanted an iPad. He didn't want to come out and say it.
That's hilarious. That'd be hilarious if he really was like, like, I need an iPad. Like,
I love when they were like, so he was poisoned, and he's like, it is so much dumber than that.
Oh my god! And then when Blanc is like all pissed off that the guy stole his murder method just because he was like, man, somebody's about to turn the lights off and shoot you.
Oh man!
Like, yeah.
And then he turns off the lights and shoots somebody.
Exactly. Like Benoit Blanc to me was probably my favorite aspect of this movie, which I think he should be, because like he's the central character to all of this. But yeah, he had some of the best dialogue moments, and like it was just great to see. Dude was so funny. Like it's so funny. I love the scene when he solves the murder, like the murder
the planned one.
Yeah, the planned one. I'm like, I love that scene. He's like, yeah, it's Birdie. Like he's just like, just based on the angles, we can see that there's a crossbow here. It's gonna hit you in the heart. She did it. She's got the diamond. I was just like, dude, like that was hilarious. And the fact that it was like it was really like well executed. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody was in on it and they knew what it was. And he spotted it
Mhm.
instantly. I was like, yo, that's dope. So that was cool. I really dug that scene itself. It was just and it was just funny because he did it in like 10 seconds.
And then when he pulls Blanc aside, he's like, I had somebody write this for me. He's like, I paid them so much money. He's like, I am so sorry.
It's like it's like I forget the name of the author that he says, but he's like, "Oh yeah, I know her work." Yeah, it was like just unimpressed with it just the whole night. And I'm like, I think that's an interesting aspect of this film as opposed to the other one, which I think they're on similar paths, where he kind of eviscerates the rich and the wealthy class. Like in the first Knives Out, it was more about class and what money meant to that class. And in this one, it's sort of the same thing, but instead of it being like a family, it's a group of friends.
Hmm.
And saying the power dynamics that occur when you have a friend who's that wealthy and that powerful, and what he can do, and what that ultimately means for that group dynamic. And I thought that aspect of the film was probably my favorite, was these group of people who were friends, who really weren't great at what they're doing now,
Hmm.
and becoming friends and being tight. And then all of a sudden this new person comes in and messes up the group dynamic or whatever, and then that person ends up overtaking that group because he stole this idea from the other person. I was just like, that's crazy. That's insane. I dug it though. Like that flashback where they're explaining their whole history. I was like, that was cool. That was one of my favorite parts.
Yeah. I love when they fill in the gaps like that. It's so well done. Yeah, like it didn't. I expected it to be a smaller scene, but I was fine with how much runtime it took because there were so many holes, like even throughout, like when Blanc is on the island, so many holes that needed to be filled, and I thought it was really well done. But I want to jump back to the beginning for a second. I love everybody's introduction. It should, and it basically just like sets up who they are, introduces us to what their character is going to be like. My favorite part, my favorite part is when they all get to the boat and they're all wearing their masks, and of course the lady who who is mad that she got yelled at for calling someone cheap, but she called him Jewy, came in with a netted mask where it did
Yeah,
nothing.
yeah. It was Kate Hudson, man. Kate Hudson was fantastic in this. like she was absolutely fantastic. She was having the most fun, I think, out of everyone here. Like, just her character is like flighty, very naive, kind of
Mm-hmm.
innocent, but like she's so endearing and sweet. And it's just funny because she's kind of like an idiot. But I mean, a netted mask, what I'm saying? She's like, she's just politically incorrect the entire movie. When she finds out about her sweatpants being
Oh, the
made.
sweatshop, yeah.
Oh my god, that one caught me so off guard. Yeah, she's like, that's perfect, thanks.
Please tell me you did not think it was a shop for making sweatpants. Well,
Oh
I do
man.
now.
Oh my god.
It
That
was
was
the
so
best. She
funny.
was so funny.
My favorite part of this whole movie was I think the ending. I forget the line though. It's escaping me because I only saw it last week. And it's been a minute. Um and I've seen so much since then. It's where he goes outside and he's with the guy who's drinking all the time.
Mhm.
I
Oh
forget the
no.
guy's line. But I remember I was crying laughing. Uh,
That's speaking of that guy real quick, sorry. That is Noah Segan. He was in the last film. Noah Segan is like Rian Johnson's best friend, so he's in like every single project of his.
Oh wow. I didn't even
So that
notice
makes it
him.
even funnier when he's like, "Oh, don't mind him."
Right.
He's like, he's just here.
Oh my god, that's hilarious. No, he's the guy that was in the background just walking around high and stuff.
Uh-huh.
That's hilarious. Was he in the first one? I don't even remember him in
Yeah,
the
he
first
was. He was the. It was a different character,
one.
but
Mhm.
he was one of the other detectives with Blanc.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. Okay, that is him. Oh wow, that's hilarious. Okay, well that's funny. Um,
Man.
That
I
that's why it makes it even funnier that he's just there.
yeah.
right. It's a totally different character in the last movie, but he's in this one like as a totally different character. I think that's hilarious.
Yeah, man, it just I just love everything about this film. Like I didn't have a s- I don't think I had a single issue with it. I think the pacing worked. The writing was of course masterful. Um Cinematography was just absolutely on point. So me personally, I don't have any issues with this film. Maybe because I have a bias because Rian Johnson is one of my favorite directors, but like I saw no issues with this film.
Well, I mean, I didn't have any issues with it. Like I said, it's a lot of fun. Um, yeah, like it's a fun film. Well, I have one issue. The film is a little bit overly self-referential. Like, and what I mean by that is like it seems to I, it feels like Rian Johnson, like he knows he made Knives Out, and Knives Out was a big hit, and Benoit Blanc was a big hit, and so like they kind of play off of that, especially in the beginning, where like he's on a Zoom call with like the chick from Murder She Wrote, and like other like like known detectives and stuff. I was just like, okay, that's a little bit on the nose there. Like
No,
I
I
was just
thought that was funny
like, yeah, it was a little on the nose,
because
and I was
Benoit. I mean, because Blanc made it big after the Harshon
Harlem
Harlem.
case. Yeah.
Yeah, why did I say? It's hard to pronounce his name sometimes. Harlem Thromby, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, after that case.
Which is I guess. But yeah, it just felt like a little like nod, like as if we didn't know. Like, hey guys, I made Knives Out. It's like, yeah, dude, we're here. Like you know what I'm saying? Like we get it. But that was probably the only other issue I had, except for like to me, and I don't know if you guys have seen this movie, but this was more reminiscent to me of Clue than
Yes.
the first movie, right? Like it definitely felt that way, sort of campy. You know, yeah, definitely there's a mystery here, but like it feels more comedic, I guess,
Well,
in
I think
tone.
this one works better because the entire film pretty much takes place in a house,
Mm,
unlike the first Knives Out where it took place around town and stuff.
mm.
I mean, it being more like Clue this time around works.
You think so?
Yes.
Okay. I love Clue. Clue's one of my favorite movies of all time. But like I like that movie because of its campiness, because of the comedy in it. To me, like Knives Out, especially like the first one, it has comedy, but it's not like, laugh out loud comedy. Whereas this one, I was doubled over like a great deal, like multiple times. So I was just like, yeah, it seemed like they leaned more into that this time around.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure how I feel about it because it's sort of a mixed tone with what the first one was and what what I'm saying, what I feel like they were going for here. So I'm a little iffy on it. I think sometimes it works, but other times it's a bit over the top, and I think they lean into it a bit much. But that's those are really like the only critiques that I have of this film.
Right. Zach, was that the only critique you had about figuring out who the killer was?
Yeah, I don't know. it just feels repetitive with these. And I mean, I get it. Like, it's the kind of movie you're gonna see. I know it's meant to be that way, but my problem is that I know it's meant to be that way, right? So, and it's not like I want to go in like trying to guess. It's just like, I just know if I'm guessing, it's going to be some major twist, like that no one expects. And the biggest twist it could have been was that the guy who hired them or hired Benoit was the guy who, was behind the whole thing, and that, like, I don't know. I was just upset because I didn't want that to be true. Yeah.
One thing I will say is, while I did have a blast with this film and I thought it was a ton of fun and it was great, I was hearing a lot of awards buzz around this film.
Let it happen.
Yeah, no.
Let it happen.
Yeah, no.
Listen.
Listen.
No.
Just
I-
writing,
no.
screenplay.
No, like
No.
I love the first Knives Out, and I felt like that, and then I think it did get a screenplay nod. This one is also well written, but it's not nearly as tight as the first one. I just
disagree.
I don't think it's as tight as the first one. And like, what I was hearing was Best Picture, was supporting actress for Janelle Monae, and I'm like, yeah, no. I'm like none of that is there. I'm like, it's a fun film. Don't get me wrong. I had a blast with it. Can't wait to watch it again. But as far as awards potential, no. Like,
Original screenplay.
Maybe costumes. Maybe
Original screenplay.
Maybe production
No.
design.
Original screenplay.
Maybe
He was nominated for original screenplay.
the first one is better. Like,
No, it's not.
The screenplay is better in the first one than it is in this one.
I actually agree with Phoenix here.
Like this is fun. Don't get me wrong. I think it's a blast. I'm gonna watch it like multiple times. But yeah, no, the first one.
It's just for me, after seeing some of the other movies this year and knowing what's to come, like, I just don't see this contending.
Yeah,
I do.
I mean, it's fun. Don't get me wrong. I don't see this breaking through the competition with everything else that's out there. You know what I'm saying?
I'm completely fine if it doesn't get nominated, but I'm gonna be pushing for it to be.
Okay, that's fair. I'm like I said, I just don't like the buzz that I was hearing. I think was like just way overblown, because I was like, when I got out of it, I was just like, no, that was fine, that was fun, but like, I don't see that level here.
It was hard for me too, because I think I just saw The Fabelmans, right? That was a movie I saw before going into that one. So
that's not fair.
Yeah. So it's like, I don't know. I don't know. To me, Fabelmans was a far superior movie. So
I still need to see The Fabelmans.
It comes highly recommended.
Yeah, I know. Like, I mean, I love Steven Spielberg, so I've been itching to go see it, but it's not playing anywhere near me, and I can't drive an hour away just to go see a movie like I did with this one.
Well, this was fair because this was limited release, so you had to, yeah. But yeah, overall, like, the thing that I'm most excited for is, I know we got another Knives Out movie coming. I want like 4 more, like no cap. Like, this is a series that I want to see continue, like, for decades and decades. I want to be like 50 years old and be like, there's a new Knives Out movie coming. Oh my God, yes. Like, that's how excited I am for it. Like,
Daniel Craig's gonna be like 80.
Right. I don't care. Like, Daniel Craig, if he could do this role in a wheelchair, I would watch it. Like, I'm telling you, like, in a wheelchair with a cane and barely can talk, as long as he can do it, I don't care. these are fantastic movies. I love the concept behind them. I just dig the hell out of a murder mystery because we don't get a lot of movies like that. And of course, this year we got like 3 with Death on the Nile and See How They Run. And I think what was
Death
the
on the Nile was last year, wasn't it?
No, it was this year.
no, I think it was this year. It was early this year.
Wow.
And the
Yeah, it
other
was supposed
one
to be this year and it got
Feels
pushed back.
forever ago.
was the movie that you liked, Zach. The other one, I forget the name of it.
Bodies,
Whichever
bodies,
one.
bodies.
No, Amsterdam. Amsterdam. There
Oh.
it is. Yeah. So like we've had a couple of murder mystery types of movies.
Wouldn't
This
bodies,
year.
bodies, bodies be one too?
Yeah, kind
Yeah,
of.
Bodies is one.
Yeah, definitely.
Huh.
So like, yeah, we've had multiple now, and I think that's due to the success of Knives Out and just how good it was. And then this one coming in and being, I would say, just as good, maybe in some areas, and not as good in some areas. But I think it was a solid film that I had a blast with, and again, I can't wait for more.
Same.
So let's go ahead. Final ratings. Zach, what are you giving Glass Onion?
I'm gonna give Glass Onion 4 stars. I think it's a great movie. I think it's fun. I don't see it being above a 4. I think that it's great because of how fun it is, and that's where I'm at.
Brandon, what about you?
I'm gonna follow up with my first Knives Out, the first Knives Out movie, and what I gave that film. Solid 5 stars. Like I said, cinematography was great, writing was fantastic. Kept my not kept my eyes peeled the whole time, but it kept me invested throughout the whole movie. And I love Rian Johnson's writing and everything. So yeah, solid 5 stars for me.
All right, I'm gonna ride that 4 stars with Zach. Had a blast. No questions about it. Had a blast. Ton of fun. In my opinion, just as fun as the original. Benoit Blanc, great character, and looking forward to Knives Out 3, Knives Out 4, Knives Out 5, Knives Out 6, and Knives Out 7. Like, I want this to be on the same level as the Harry Potter films or like like the Star Wars films. Like, I don't care. There should be 20 of these.
You know what's funny is like I'd rather take this over all the Avatar sequels we're about to get.
Yeah, honestly. All right. So those are our thoughts on Glass Onion. What did you guys think of the film? Have you had a chance to see it? If not, check it out when it drops on Netflix. I believe it's December 23rd. I know I'll be there because I got to see it again and again and again. And yeah, let us know your thoughts at FilmCoPod on Twitter and Instagram. And we are going to move on now to What's Good. What's good? What's good? What's good? Gentlemen, it has been a great week, but I'm going to kick this off because I am going to recommend something that I know the two of you have seen, and you probably want to recommend yourself, so I'm stealing it from you, and that is the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. Fan freaking tastic. Okay, like absolutely fantastic. Like so good. James Gunn is the GOAT. He's like one of the best directors. He just gets this team. I'm so excited for volume 3. Just saw the trailer as well. That looks fantastic. This holiday special was awesome. I've been laughing about jokes that's in this special all for like the past 2 days. It's hilarious. Every character gets a moment to shine. I love Mantis, love Drax. I'm way more in love with Nebula, even. Like, just, it's so damn funny. It's so damn funny. So good. Way better than I ever thought it could be. So that's definitely what's good for me. Brandon, what about you?
Man, for me, I want to recommend A Christmas Story Christmas. It is a follow-up to the
Original Christmas Story, right?
The original Christmas Story that came out forever ago. And I think they handle it very well because they had one that came out a few years ago called A Christmas Story 2. And it was about Ralphie wanting to get a car and it just made no sense. It was lame. So they went back to its roots. They completely canned that one, and this one just I really love it, man. Ralphie's all grown up. He's handling the loss of his dad and trying to be the good dad for Christmas. Man, it was good, really good. So
Nice.
for me, it's a Christmas story. Christmas.
All right, Zach, we've recommended 2 Christmas movies. Your turn. What do you got?
Well, let's see here. So I've seen a lot, I think, recently. I can't even remember how many movies I've seen recently. I saw 6 in like 1 week.
Jesus.
Yeah, so I've seen quite a lot. For me, I think the one that I'm going to recommend is going to be Devotion. I thought
Devotion.
that movie, yeah, I thought that movie was great. Hot take. No, I know no one's gonna agree with me. Totally okay.
Well, I haven't seen it yet, so I can't agree with you yet.
Right.
But
I know no one is gonna agree with me. I liked it better than Top Gun Maverick. It's another movie about a naval aviator. No one's ever gonna agree with me. That's fine. When you two see the movie, you'll see why.
I don't know, man. You just set the bar pretty high, so I'm expecting like fantastic things here.
I'm not expecting you guys to like it better, but I'm saying when you see the movie, I think some of the things that happen, I think you'll understand why. So,
Okay. Well, I'm looking forward to that. So, Devotion, A Christmas Story Christmas, and the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. Fantastic recommendations, guys. And let us guys know if you check it out. Check out any of those films and let us know what you guys think. All right. So it is officially that time. You are now entering Film Code. Start program. All right. It's time for Film Code. Brandon, it was your code word this week. Remind everyone what your code word was and all of your clues, sir.
Yeah, my code word was grow. The years were from 1955 to 1965. The director made many films between the 50s and the 2010s. Our director is still alive while being over 100 years old. And the poster for the film should remind you of King Kong.
All right. Zach, you are at the bottom of the leaderboard and you kick us off. What is your guess for the code word?
So I don't even know if this will have anything to do with the code word. Maybe there's something. I've never seen the movie, so maybe there's something I'm missing. But I did find the only thing I could find was one director who is still alive, and he did make movies in the 50s. He's made many films between the 50s and 2010s. And the director is Jonas Mekas, I think is how you say it.
Mm-hmm.
And the one he's best known for is Sleepless Nights in 2011. So it's in the 2010s. And he also looks like he made several movies before that. And so my guess is, hang on. Sorry, give me 1 second. He's still alive, of course. And then I don't know about the poster for the film. I didn't look at that. But that's the only one I could find who's still alive who fit the rest. So for that reason, I'm going with The Brig, which was made in 1964, because that's another well-renowned film by him.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Excellent choice.
Phoenix?
I looked up Jonas Mekas as well, but I couldn't find anything that matched something as well as the one I found just today. After searching for hours last night, finally stumbled upon what I think is the correct answer. So let me see here. Your director, yes, he made many films in the 50s and 60s, and his last film was in 2015. He is still alive. I believe he's 103 years old or something like that. The poster definitely does remind me of King Kong because it is a giant person holding a woman in his hand. So I am going with director Burt I. Gordon and his film in 1957 called The Amazing Colossal Man. That is my guess for the code word. Brandon, how did we do?
You and I are now tied.
Oh, let's go.
I felt like I did pretty okay guessing.
You want a
Great
participation trophy?
Great job.
I want a participation.
Yeah,
trophy.
because I looked him up too. So I was like, yeah, absolutely. But yes. Yeah.
All right, Phoenix, you and I are now tied. I'm still gonna take this cake after this though, but man, I mean I'm surprised you found it.
Yeah, it took a minute.
It's not well known of a film at all.
Right.
Like, man, it was like so Tiffany and I went down to Disney last weekend and we ate at this place called Sci-Fi Drive-In. It's supposed to like just like the atmosphere is just like you're eating at like you're eating like in a car of a drive-in theater, and it plays a lot of like old movie trailers from the 50s and 60s, man. And I saw it, I'm like, I think I found my next code word.
Woo!
You guys should check out the trailer for it. It looks so funny.
Like Burt Gordon, he made a ton of films in like the 50s and 60s that are like considered like the I guess you could call them the standard for like monster kind of movies or whatever. And like it's funny to me because like all of his films are rated like really low. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like very low. They're all like in the 2s and the 1s and stuff like that. But these are like, you know, the blueprints for a lot of the monster epic movies that, you know, you would see today. Like The Amazing Colossal Man. I'm like reading descriptions of a lot of these movies and I'm like, dude, these descriptions are dope. Like these will sound like insanely great ideas. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, of course, like they were done in the 50s and 60s. So like, you know, there's the cheesy, you know, acting, there's, you know, bad animatronics, bad visual effects. Like, you know, they're really kind of like thrown together films. But like, when you think about it, these were the epics of that time period, you know what I'm saying? And based on the limits of that technology, the amount of stuff that they were able to create, I think is amazing. So like, yeah, like I haven't seen this movie, but like it definitely feels like it's something in my wheelhouse. Love monsters, love like great science fiction horror stories. And I think Burt and another guy, Roger Corman, who was somebody else I looked up, has like a long list of films like that where it's just, you know, really kind of schlock horror, which I dig. So
yeah,
happy to reign atop the leaderboard once again. I told you, Brandon, you're going down.
No, I'm not.
You're going down, baby. You thought you had it. You thought you had me. Got
it. I'll be honest. I did put this pretty well. I shouldn't have put in the King Kong hint.
No, that definitely helped. like that definitely helped. Once I saw him holding her in his hand, I was like, ooh, I got it. Like, yeah. All right. But thank you guys for listening. We are gonna get up out of here. Brandon, let everybody know where they can find you, sir.
Yeah, you guys can find me at FANTASMIC ears over on Letterboxd. Go check out what I'm watching. Thank you guys again for listening. It's been a blast. And yeah, thank you guys again.
And Zach, where can everybody find you, sir?
You guys can find me on Twitter at Zach Sneath. That is ZACHSNEATH. And you can find me on Letterboxd at ZSneaks.
All right, guys. And you can find me on Twitter at IamHOReviews1. That's the number 1. And on Letterboxd under PA Clouden. And as always, guys, please follow the show on Twitter and Instagram at FilmGoPod. And we will see you guys next week. We are out of here. Peace.